Hey guys, what is up? What's going on out there today? Brent Abel here, webtennis.com. Hope you're having a spectacular day so far, wherever you are. Out here in the West Coast, we are at 7:05 a.m. Rancho Mirage, California Desert, Mission Hills Country Club. Man, gorgeous day on tap. Hope you got some tennis lined up today. And let's see. First of all, I've received several emails from folks going, Brent, where's the 7 around 7 the last week plus days, right? And so I've had some issues with my email provider. Nothing major, but just took some time. And thank you, Jermaine, my tech guy, who finally hung in there and solved it for me. But if you've not been receiving my emails recently, that's why. And however, yet I have been producing an episode of 7 around 7 every day. And if this ever happens again and you don't hear from me because you don't listen to the live version and really just kind of pick it up on the replay, you can always go over to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/webtennis. All right. All right, guys. So let's talk about this thought here, technique. What if tennis was only forehands, right? There was no backhands. It was only forehands. And the reason I bring this up is I mentioned in the last episode or two recently, my chat with Erica Smith last week, just about my question to her was, and if you don't know Erica, 25, I don't know, at least couple dozen gold balls, right? I know she's won a singles title, but most of them are doubles, a spectacular doubles player, obviously. And she used to work with the great Australian coach, Jack Shaw, back in the day before Jack unfortunately passed away. But Jack really had three messages that he continued to impress on all of his students. And, the first two were, quick feet. Just keep the feet moving. Do not get settled in. Keep the feet moving. Number two was to watch the ball. All right. And that was sort of my question too. That was kind of leading the discussion off with Erica about watching the ball. But the third thing was super early prep. And super early prep means that if you've got your feet going, you're nimble all the time. You're not stationary. You're not kind of rooted down in one spot. And that if you do clearly have a good visual lock on the ball, that why would we hesitate if we know, for example, if the ball's on your right and you're a right-handed player, going to be a forehand, why would we hesitate to get out of that forward-facing position and get all the way turned? And I'm not sure who this dude is. Okay. Looks like a little spammy thing coming in here on one of the comments. But why would we hesitate to wait to get turned sideways into the full racket prep position, even if you're on the move, right? And so, and I noticed this with the pros on TV and the tennis channel recently. It looks like even though we know the ball is just getting scorched out there, right? It just looks like they have time. They're just set so early. I notice a lot on the return to serve, and you can tell. And I've kind of thrown this at you before. One of the things you want to be doing when you're returning serve is if the server on that first serve hits their serve into the net, you should already be turned to either a forehand or backhand. And one of the things I love to do is if, for example, if someone's serving to my forehand and the ball and their serve hits the net, I like to check to see how far I am in terms of that racket prep, that body turn position. And if I'm not all the way where I want to be, I just keep it going some more. So I tell my brain, hey, look, by the time that serve has crossed the net, we've got to be committed to either turning to the right or turning to the left, right? So I noticed that with the pros, certainly with the return to serve, but also with the ground strokes. It just looks like they've got time. I mean, think about golf, right? The golfers don't have to choose which side they're going to hit the golf ball from, right? They're either a right-handed golfer or a left-handed golfer, right? Baseball hitters, they don't have to stand and face forward to the pitcher and then decide which side they're going to hit from, either from the left side or the right side. They already know, right? So let's say the game was only forehands. That just kind of hang in there with me for a second. But let's say it was only forehands. There was no backhands. If you hit a forehand, would you ever, after you finish the stroke, and certainly when you finish the stroke, you'd end up facing the net, but would you ever hang out there facing the net after you played that forehand? No. As soon as you finished one forehand, you'd get ready instantly for another one. And it didn't matter how long it took for that next one to get to you. You'd be waiting, right? So one of the great messages I got from Mr. Stowe back in the day was that as soon as you recognize whether you're getting a forehand or whether you're getting a backhand, is to hurry up and then wait, right? And what that meant to me was that the faster I can get committed to a full turn, to a full racket prep setup position, the more time I have to wait. And you know, I mean, in some situations, that's a little bit of a problem in terms of if we have too much time to think about, well, am I going up the line? Am I going back in the middle? Am I going cross court? Am I going to play a dropper? Am I going to play a looper? Am I going to do what? Well, okay. Then eventually, you know, the other message I've told you is that whatever's the first shot choice that comes into your mind, just stick with it. And if it means that you have got a shot choice in mind and you got to wait an extra nanosecond for that ball to arrive, cool. That's great. But the message today, guys, is I want you to get out there, and hopefully it's today, but whatever it is, next time, maybe it's tomorrow or in a few days, let's check to see how early you are getting into a fully committed racket prep position. And I don't mean kind of halfway. I don't mean where you kind of go, okay, well, it's a forehand, I'm going halfway. And then as the ball comes in, then I start to go ahead and finish off the prep. I mean, Jeff and I, Jacklich, have talked about this thing lots, where a lot of players, depending on the speed of the incoming ball, kind of time their turn to that speed. And very often what happens is you don't time it properly. Either you're a little bit too late and you don't really catch up to the right point of contact, or maybe you're a little bit too early and you've now committed to go through what should be the right point of contact and you've gone through it a little bit too early, right? So look, all this depends on posture and balance, and can you hold that position? Can you hold that racket prep position for as long as you need to? And if you're committed too early, which typically happens, you get out in the front foot too soon, no bueno. So listen, just think about it. What if tennis was only forehands? Would you ever face forward after you finished your last forehand? And the answer would be, well, you could, but you shouldn't. You should be, as soon as you finish it, you should get turned instantly. So let's work on how quickly can you get prepped. One of the things that you can monitor on this is grip tension. If you're holding too much grip tension in your hands, squeezing too tight in your ready position, you're not going to get turned quickly, and you probably won't get turned fully. Look, if you think about grip pressure on your racket handle, why do we ever need to have grip pressure unless there's a slight little firming of the grip just prior to contact? But that's only 1% of the entire swing, right? From facing forward, from turning to getting the racket prep, from forward swing, pre-contact swing shape, and then the finish. That's only 1% of the entire time of being able to hit a tennis ball, or of hitting a tennis ball. So you got to monitor that grip pressure, and that may be the thing that's slowing you down from getting into a really early racket prep, body turned, unit turn, call it whatever you want. But you got to get fully committed to that turn as soon as possible. And so check your grip pressure, especially in your ready position. If it's too much, lighten up. All right, guys, that's it for me today. Short message. Where are we? We're under 10 minutes. All right. Look, hope this has helped. Would love to hear from you down below in the comments area. What's on your mind? You know, any feedback, any remarks, any comments, any questions? let me know. You can do the same thing. Direct message me over on Facebook and or shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. That's it. I am out. It is time for all of us to get out there today. Help another human being have a spectacular day. Guys, I'll see you again next time.